Hey, you guys. So glad to be back with you. It has been a little while since I've been live. I was at Tony Robbins this past week. As you can hear, I don't really have much of a voice. So you're going to see me drinking lots of water, and you're also going to recognize that this may be a little bit shorter of live than I usually do, but I'm also going to try to make them shorter lately. So glad to be with you. So glad to be back. Hey, Fariha. So good to see you. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Alexandra, proud founder of alexandracavucci.com. I'm a mindset and success coach for visionary women entrepreneurs who want to create a life and business on their own terms, bring their full selves forward, and manifest success, manifest what they desire. Thank you for the hearts already. I'm so glad to see you guys. It's been so long. Fariha, how are you? Rose, how are you? Thank you for the hearts. So good to see you. If you guys hop on the replay, please say hello below. Let me know that you're here. If you join live, let me know. Please feel free to say hello. I love that you're here. I love serving you. I love being with you. And today I want to talk to you about the 5 biggest takeaways I took from Tony Robbins. Now, a lot of this stuff you may already know, and a lot of this stuff I already knew, but it's amazing and always so beneficial. Rose, I missed you too. I missed everybody. You guys should have heard my voice in the last 3 days. It was just non-existent. This is probably better than it was for most of the time. There was a lot of screaming, a lot of this. CTR, what's CTR? Fariha says gonna CTR. What does that mean? Fariha, I'm not down with the lingo. I don't know what all these acronyms mean. So I want to talk to you guys about the 5 biggest takeaways I learned from, or relearned, should I say, from Unleash the Power Within. If you guys are here, if you're present, if you have a pulse, give me some hearts, give me some likes, and feel free to share this if you think that this could help anybody at any point during the broadcast. Feel free to share this on your page or share this with somebody, invite somebody to watch if you think that it could help them, if you think that they're going through something that you hear and something that you know could contribute to their success. So let's get started. 5 takeaways from Renee. So nice to see your face too. I'm so glad to see you. Welcome. Please excuse me if I start drinking an extra amount of water. As you guys can hear, I already have vocal cord issues naturally, so screaming doesn't really do me any good, but so worth it. 1,000 times over, it's worth it. So number 1, I want to talk to you about the 5 biggest takeaways. Number 1 is you are not broken. Now, we all know this. I mean, we know this. We know that we're not broken, but every single one of us, or many of us, the majority of us, walks around Earth feeling like there's something that we have to fix, something that is broken within us, something that is not right, something that prevents us from being what we want to be, something that prevents us from achieving what we want to achieve. And being at Tony really just reminded me of this fact that we are not broken. That I am not broken, that you are not broken, that none of us are broken. When you listen to a multi-billionaire who has been doing this for multiple years, take you, and I'm talking about Tony, take you into his backstory, you start to see that he's just like all of us. He's just like all of us, right? He thought he was broken. He was pissed at the world. Shit wasn't going his way. Everything sucked. Overweight, this, that, the other thing. And it was a really great reminder that we are not broken, that you're not broken, that I'm not broken. Additionally, meeting people from 70 plus countries in the world, seeing 14,000 people experience the same thing, and recognize that 14,000 people have so many of the same beliefs, just really drove home for me that none of us are broken. And in fact, we're always choosing. Thinking you're broken is a belief you're making by choice. Believing you're broken is simply, and a belief is simply finding certainty in a story you tell yourself. That's all a belief is, finding certainty in a story you tell yourself. You can find certainty in the belief that you're an amazing fucking human being who's meant to be a leader. And conversely, you can also find certainty in the belief that you're broken. but that really depends on your choice, right? So feeling and knowing that you're not broken is something that you may need to remind yourself of. Rachel, hello. Thank you. I'm not sick. I simply did a lot of screaming this weekend, and I've got vocal cord nodules my whole life. So screaming lays me out much more so than it does for a lot of people. But thank you so much. I will absolutely get well soon. I'm on the mend. So number one is you're not broken. And I just want to remind you of this because I know that a lot of us know this. And give me some hearts and likes if you know this logically, consciously, but sometime in your life you've felt broken. You felt like something was wrong with you, like there was something that you had to fix. Nothing to be ashamed about. We've all been there. I've certainly been there, right? But give me some hearts and likes if you've been there before. Because the thing is, we all get to see that we all go there. And we can make a choice to be in that place, to operate from that place, to work in that place, or not. Remember, a belief is simply a story you tell yourself with complete certainty. A belief is simply a story you tell yourself with complete certainty, which means that you can change at any time. You can become anything at any time. You can live as any identity you want, as long as you're providing yourself with complete certainty. And there's a lot of tools to do that. I won't go into them today, but just know that you're not broken. Know that it's possible. Number two of the 5 biggest takeaways from Unleash the Power Within is we all make everything mean something. And what we make things mean determines the course of our lives, the quality of our lives, the actions we take, everything. Everything that's happening in our lives, our brains are meaning-making machines. And we're constantly making things mean something. So let's say you put something out there, right? Let's say you create a new 4-week program, or you put your first package out there, or you do something scary. Let's say you do something scary in your coaching business, your whatever business you have, right? Whatever kind of entrepreneur you are. Let's say you put something out there and nobody buys it. Nobody buys it. Now, you can make that mean one of a million things, but let's go down 2 different paths for right now, right? You can make that mean that you suck, that there's something wrong with you, as in, number 1. You can make that mean this, or you can make that mean, this was my first try. I can't wait to make this better. I can't wait to make this better, right? So number 2 is you're always making things mean something, because we are created on meaning, the meaning that we give to everything in our lives. We're created on the meaning that we give to our relationships. We're created on the meaning that we give to ourselves, the meaning that we give to everything we do, right? My voice is gone. I could make that mean that I don't have the power to do any lives. I should just not do any. I could make that mean I'm going to show up and bring my takeaways despite what's going on with me, right? So we can make everything mean something, and we do make everything mean something. So as you go through life, as you go through your day, ask yourself, what am I making this mean? Maybe you want somebody to sign up for your coaching program and nobody signed up for your coaching program. You could make that mean that you are a terrible coach, or you can make that mean that you've got a challenge in front of you and you're ready to dominate that challenge, right? Give me some hearts and likes if you recognize that we always make something mean something. And if you're willing to choose what you want to make things mean, because that's a huge aspect to what we do. That's a huge aspect to what we create. I'll give you a short little example of this. In my relationship, actually. When Dre and I had our first fight, probably 5 years ago. We were 3 months into dating, who knows? And we had our first fight. She was distraught. She was like, oh my God, I don't want to fight. This is terrible. I can't believe this. This is horrible. And I was so fucking excited that we had our first fight. Why? Because she was making it mean that we didn't belong together, that we were incompatible, that we were, we couldn't talk, we couldn't communicate. And I was making it mean that we were hitting the next level of our relationship, and we were getting closer, and we were building a stronger bond, and we were gonna really truly hit that next level. And I truly believe that when you fight with somebody, when you argue with somebody, that's because you've been around each other enough, that's because you trust each other enough, and that's because you're hitting a point of growth. I truly believe that arguments in a relationship are at a point of growth. But this shows you how two different people makes the same exact thing mean two different things. She shut down, pulled away, didn't want to go forward because she was afraid. I plowed through and I was ready to keep going because what that meant to me was that we were hitting the next level of our relationship. So it's the same. Rachel says, seeing the magical things even in the most difficult times. I love that. Yeah, Rachel. And another way of looking at that is whatever experience you have right now, difficult, easy, whatever, you can make it mean that this is the end, or you can make it mean that this is the beginning, right? Let's shut off this notification. So at any point, you can make your life mean that it's the end or that it's the beginning. You can make your career mean it's the end or it's the beginning. Everything in your life has meaning, and you are the one that's giving it meaning. So ask yourself every single day, what meaning am I giving to this? What meaning am I giving to this story? What meaning am I giving to myself? What meaning am I giving to this action? What meaning am I giving to this result? Etc., etc., etc. Give me some hearts and likes if you guys are willing to do that, if you're ready to try that. And if you hop on, feel free to say hi. It's so good to see you. So number 3, biggest takeaway of Unleash the Power Within. Always get leverage for anything that you want to achieve. Always get leverage. Now, what does that mean? Well, a lot of us try to willpower our ways through everything, right? We willpower our way through business. We do all the things. Hey, Jess, so good to see you, love. We do all the things. We push ourselves. We push ourselves. We push ourselves. We push ourselves. And then oftentimes we burn out. And then we wonder what's wrong with us, right? Back to number 1. What's wrong with us? I'm broken, et cetera, et cetera. But number 3 is all about getting leverage. So if you want something, anything in your life, one of the most important things that I was reminded of at Unleash the Power Within is that leverage creates an insane amount of success. And what does leverage mean? That means that instead of trying to push towards what you want, you let something pull you. And I've talked about this before in a lot of my lives. I've talked about this before in identity shifting, right? A program called Shift that I do. I've talked about this before in a lot of the things that I've brought to your attention. But this is a really, really important reminder to get leverage. Whatever you want to achieve right now, if you want to hit a 5K month, a 10K month, if you want to get 3 new clients, if you want to hit that next level, right, and really stand out as a leader, ask yourself, first of all, in order to get leverage, take a look at what is so painful about staying where you are and what is so pleasurable about going to where you want to be. Because leverage is determined, I mean, a lever, right? It can lift a whole car. Get the right lever with the right angle, you lift a whole car, right? You lift a whole, whatever it is you want to lift. That's what leverage is. And leverage comes from really understanding what is going to drive you, what is going to pull you, what is going to bring you forward. And a great way to do that is looking at what your beliefs, what your situation is causing you pain in, and then what you want, how that can connect to intense pleasure in your life. And I'll go into that deeper in a separate live, but I wanted to bring to you that awareness of the concept of getting leverage on yourself. In other words, know why you want what you want. Now, you've heard that before, I'm sure, in the coaching industry. Know your why. I know that you've heard that. But the reason behind knowing your why, right? It's great to know the reason behind knowing your why. Because you could say, yeah, I know my why. My why is to make a lot of money. My why is to this. My why is to that. I have kids, blah, 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 blah. Great. But what's the emotional connection to your why? Because the why you're doing everything is your emotional leverage. The why you want to move towards what you want to move towards is your emotional leverage. And just a side note, it doesn't even have to be super altruistic. It doesn't have to be incredibly spiritual just yet. You know, your why may be, I need to feed my kids. That's an amazing why for you to hit your next level. And then from there, next level, from there, next level, from there, next level. right? So if you feel bad that your why is not this insanely spiritual, altruistic thing, just remember when, hey Julia, when an airplane is going down, they tell you to put your gas mask, your oxygen mask on you first, right? Because when you take care of you, you can take care of others. So if your why has to do with taking care of you, and that's the leverage that you need to move forward, I feel like it's getting dark in here. That's the leverage that you need to move forward. That's absolutely okay. I just want to remind you of that. It doesn't need to be super altruistic, right? It could be that you want to take an amazing vacation. Whatever it is that drives you and gives you that leverage is what drives you, right? So that's absolutely okay. Altruism, generosity, contribution, all of that stuff is a muscle to be built. So please don't beat yourself up and don't think you're broken if you're focused right now on taking care of yourself and really making your own growth happen and really becoming the next level person, right? So that's number 3. Get leverage. If you want any kind of change in your life, if you want to succeed at anything, if you want to, thank you for the hearts, thank you for the likes. If you guys hear anything that you like, love, think is funny, whatever, give me some hearts and likes, because it lets me know that you have a pulse, that we're on track with each other and that we're connected. Also, if you like the extra rasp in my voice today, feel free to give me some hearts and likes for that too, because I did this just for you. Number 4, and then I'll do a quick recap at the end. Number 4, fear will always be there. And I just want you to soak that in for a second. Fear will always be there. I've spoken to a lot of women who just don't want to be afraid anymore. I just want complete and utter confidence. Well, complete and utter confidence comes from, Rose says rasp for the win. Yeah. Complete and utter confidence comes from taking actions that scare you. Jess, you still got the rasp too. Jess says, love the rasp. I've still got it too. Taking or cultivating complete confidence comes from living through the fear, comes from existing through the fear, comes from walking through the fear. Now, I did a fire walk this weekend, on Thursday. And what it is taking about 6 steps on hot coal, depending on how long your legs are. If you're as tall as Tony, you take like 2 steps. If you're as tall as me, 5'2", thank you, Renee. If you're as tall as me, 5'2", I'm shorter than I seem, I know. Then it takes about 6 steps, maybe on this bed of coals. And we pumped ourselves up. Yes, yes, yes. We did all of these priming exercises. And what I realized is and I pumped myself up. I was focused. I was in the zone. I was in state, which basically just means vibration, emotional feeling. State is really just all that stuff you talk about with energy, vibration, emotional state, what you think, what you feel, what you're focused on, right? And I was at the front. We step on a piece of grass. We step on a cool piece of grass. We walk on hot coals. And then we step on a piece of grass. People grab you and they say, wipe your feet, wipe your feet, wipe your feet, because coals stick to your feet. And I stepped up to the grass. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm fucking terrified. I'm fucking terrified. And what I realized in that moment is that fear will never go away. It almost chokes me up to think about achieving that, walking on hot coals, because the reasoning that we did this, the reasoning that we walked on hot coals was not to walk on hot coals or to be able to say that we did something cool, even though, what? But the reason was so that we could have a physical example of what it means to face fear, a physical example in our nervous systems of what it means to move past fear. And you have access to this every single day as well, right? So I stepped up onto this cool grass right before. We're not supposed to look down at the coals. We're supposed to keep our eyes up straight so that we don't even think, we just go. Because if you look down, then you bring focus to the lower half of your body. If you look up, you keep the focus on the upper half of your body, and your brain doesn't register your feet as much, right? So this guy was there, amazing, fit, bald guy, and he's pumping me up, pumping me up, pumping me up. And he just says, when I say go, don't even think. You just fucking take a step. And I remember my whole body dropped into my stomach, and I was terrified. I was terrified. My brain was going a million miles a minute, but I was also super focused. Yes, 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 yes. We were just yes, Yes, yes. Tony was having us, stay in momentum, stay in state. And I realized in that moment, and I conceptually knew this, but to really have this realization, and you can only have it through action, is that fear never goes away. If there's ever a time you're going to be afraid, it's to literally step on fire. And if you can walk through that, so to speak, metaphorically and physically, if you can walk through fire, whatever fire's in your life right now, that's where you build confidence. That's where you build unfuckwithable energy. That's where you build an unbreakable spirit. It doesn't come before you do it. It doesn't come before you take the action. It's in taking the action that you get the reward of being that most confident version of yourself, which a lot of people try to work backwards. I just want to be super confident and then I'm going to fucking do everything I want to do. I'm just going to be super confident and then I'm going to do everything I want to do. It doesn't work that way because fear will never go away, right? Additionally, a lot of people want to get to that next level so that they're not afraid anymore. And this is often something we do subconsciously. I just want to get to that next level because then I'll be super confident. You won't be super confident at that next level because you'll be afraid of the next level. You'll be afraid of the next level. You'll be afraid of the next level. The better thing to focus on is how can I exist with fear and plow through it? How can I move through fear? How can I commit to myself? How can I take massive, massive, massive action? Because all the stuff that you want comes from taking the massive action. That stuff doesn't come before taking the massive action. So reminder number 4 or takeaway number 4 is that fear never goes away. It is lodged in us. It's just the way it is. We are beings of survival. And this is how we've gotten to where we are, right? Give me some hearts and likes if you guys are willing to face your fear, if you're ready to face your fears, if you're ready to step forward into that next level version of you and take amazing, massive action. Because I know that you are. I know that you might not feel ready, but remember, it's just a story you're telling yourself. Just got to make friends with it. Yeah, absolutely, Julia. And just coexist with it, right? So number 5, biggest takeaway, and I might have a bonus, Renee, it is scary. Yeah, fear is, the definition of fear is that it's scary, right? And that's what fear is. It's scary. And it's also powerful, and you can also use it to your advantage. Number 5, biggest takeaway, and then I have a bonus takeaway for you. Number 5, biggest takeaway is open up to the world. Open up to the world. We were in a stadium of 14,000 people. We were rubbing each other's backs. We were massaging each other. We were scratching each other because they tell us to wake us up. We had 18-hour days some days. We had 15-hour days. It's long. It's emotional boot camp, essentially, because I used to have this huge fear that I would be so tired, and then this completely obliterated that because he took us to our extreme, and I mean to our extreme. And we're massaging people and we're hugging people. And I looked around the room a lot. I spent a lot of time, of course, looking at Tony, but I also spent a lot of time looking around at the stadium. And I realized that the more you open up to the world, the more the world opens up to you. The more experiences open up to you. The more growth opens up to you. The more you open up to receive, the more morning back scratches are the best. Yeah, my girlfriend loves them, Julia. She's always asking me. She goes, every time she wants scratches, she goes, what'd you say? What'd you say? What'd you say? What'd you say? I don't know how it started, but she always does that. So now every time she says that, I know she needs some scratches. So, I found that I was hugging these strangers, and we spent some time looking into people's eyes, and we massaged each other, and we cried next to each other, and we sat next to each other, and at some points at some points I was bawling. And I realized I'm sitting in this room of 14,000 people who are experiencing the same thing. I am no separate. I am no different. They may have a different version, a different story, a different vision, but we are all so similar. And the sooner we open up to others, the sooner we really crack our hearts open and let people in, even with the vulnerability, even with the fear. And maybe that's where your fear lies, right? Maybe your fear lies in letting people in. But the sooner we do that, the sooner we can look people in the eye, the sooner we can you know, I go through phases where I don't really want to look people in the eye because it's vulnerable. And after this event, I just realized, you know, that's one way I keep the world out, is by not looking up and not looking people in the eye. And so little things like that, there's so many ways that you can open up to the world. Ask the grocery store clerk, is that what they call them? Questions about their lives. Ask your parents how they're doing. Ask, you know, your partner how they're feeling about things. Look people in the eye. When you open up to the world, you open up to insane possibility. You open up to manifesting insane results, because we are interconnected with the world at all times. Energetically, on a spiritual level, we are always connected to every other person. Open up by sending love to the people that you despise. Open up by sending forgiveness to the people that you struggle with. Open up by sending love to the people who you feel jealous about. Open up by sending, you know, love to people who've hurt you. Open up by looking people in the eye. When you open up to the world, give me some hearts and likes if you guys are on the same page. I want to make sure there's a pulse check. When you open up to the world radically opens up to you. The world radically opens up to showing you bigger experiences, to taking you to different levels, to bringing the right people into your life, to you know, you open up to manifesting exactly what you're meant to manifest. Dawn says, sometimes when people look at you in the eye, it's like they can look right through you. I always try and look people right in their eyes. Yeah, Dawn, it's a really, really powerful practice. And, you know, it's also when people look at you, you're right. You can feel like they're looking into you, and that's why we avoid it. But we can also look into them and really be there for them, create that space, create that beautiful moment, right? If we decide to walk into the fear first and open up, and it's a conscious decision, it is something that we commit to, right? So quick recap, and then I'm going to give you a bonus. Number one, you are not broken. And knowing this in here is different than knowing this in here. You are not broken. That is a story that you decide to tell yourself. And again, a belief is a story we tell ourselves with complete certainty. So you can change that shit at any time. Number two, we make everything mean something. So take a look at what you're making everything mean. This can either be the end or the beginning. Everything, always. Again, I gave you that quick little story about my first fight with Dre. She was devastated that we fought, devastated that we had our first fight, because to her it meant that we weren't compatible. I was over the moon that we were having our first fight, because I truly believed, and I still truly believe, that when you first have a sticky spot with somebody, you get closer. You bring yourselves closer. So for me, that meant Dre and I were just getting closer and closer and closer. And that's what happened, right? And I shared that with her, and she changed her meaning to that as well. Number three, you want change, get leverage. Get leverage. Know what is pulling you instead of what is pushing you. Claudia, hello, beautiful. So good to see you. So good to see you. I'm just doing a quick recap, but feel free to hop on and watch the replay. So number three is get leverage. What's pulling you? Instead of pushing, let something pull you. Let a vision pull you. Let contribution pull you. Let your why pull you. Let your pain push you from here, and your pleasure pull you towards what you want, right? Number four, fear will always be there. Fear will always be there. No matter how much we pumped ourselves up to walk on coals, I was still scared shitless until I finished. And even then, my body like exploded in this relief / fear / what's going on. Fear will always be there. It is meant to protect us. You can move through it. Number five, open up to the world. There's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of beautiful things out there. Open up to it. And a quick bonus is you are always in control of how you feel. And I really want that to sink in, because I can't tell you how long I went through life feeling like if something just happened, I would feel better. If something just came about, I would feel better. If someone just loved me, I would feel better. If I just lost weight, I would feel better. If I just hit 10K months in my business, I would feel better, right? But you are always in control of how you feel. And it takes practice in the beginning. If you've been in a negative vibration for a long time, it takes a little bit of practice to be in a positive vibration or a positive state. But you're always in control of what vibration you're operating at, thus what you're manifesting, thus what you're bringing in. I just don't want you to forget that you're always in control, because sometimes it can feel like you're out of control when so many things are happening, when you want so many things, when you want to achieve so many things and nothing's working. Start backwards. Feel grateful. Look around you right now. I mean, right now, while we're on this live, do it with me. I'll do it too. We've got a house or an apartment, the internet, clean water. There are people right now that are thirsty, and we go to a faucet and get clean water. We've got clothes. We've got money to get haircuts. We've got watches. We've got everything we could ever need. And the stuff that we want to experience, you know, the contribution we want to give, the business that we are building, the coaching business that you might be in, or the acupuncture business that you might be in, or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, that's a cherry on top. You've already got so much. And so the bonus is, know that you're always in control of how you feel. Spend time cultivating that. Spend time in that. Spend time working on your vibration, because your vibration is going to be what attracts things to you, what helps you get to the next level, what brings in the ideal clients, what brings in the dream clients, what calls in the people who are meant to be in your life. That vibration, that's what manifests the money, right? You can be doing all the things, working from the wrong energy and hitting all the walls, right? It really matters what energy you bring, what spirit you bring to it. So that's a little bit of a bonus. So I want to leave you guys with that. I have so many things that I want to share with you and so many lives that are coming up. I wanted to leave you with those takeaways. I will be probably doing a live either later today or tomorrow morning. And if you are interested in, Claudia says, yep, gratitude is powerful, especially when we get caught up in overwhelming medical and physical challenges. UPW looked insanely magical. I'm in New York and I was so excited for you. Thank you so much, Claudia. That means so much. I'm so excited to see you on this live. And just remember that you can do anything that you set your mind to. You can change, and you always have greatness within you. If you're ready to take your business to the next level, if you're ready to start manifesting your dream clients, if you're ready to really heal your relationship to money and your vibration and really become that next version of you, that next level of you to get next level results, let me know. I've got a couple of spots open for one-on-one coaching. And I also want to let you know, I'm going to be doing 2 spots where we can decide what works for you. Is it 4 weeks? Is it 12 weeks? Is it 6 weeks? I'm going to play around with it a little bit and see. Claudia, my website is alexandercavucci.com. I just took it down 2 days ago to do some back-end stuff. So you're not going to see anything on there, but I'll let you know when it's up and running. I'm going to be working on it throughout this week, doing some back-end stuff. So I will certainly let you know when it's up and running. But let me know. Feel free to send me a PM if you have any other questions, if you want to chat. And I've got 2 spots open right now for the woman who's really ready to get insane results, needs accountability, wants someone to push her and help her step up into the visionary leader that she is. Because I see it in you, even when you don't. All right, guys, love you a ton. I will talk to you later. And I hope you are having an amazing day. Mwah.